Program in Sudan, where security forces have fired tear gas at protesters trying to march towards the presidential palace. The demonstrators are demanding that the military plays no role in government during a transition to free elections. Over the weekend, protesters opposed to military rule edged closer to the presidential palace despite heavy tear gas and a communications blackout. Now, according to the Central Committee of Sudanese doctors, more than 200 people were injured during Saturday's protest, with 6 wounded by live bullets.
Powers such as arrest, search and arbitrary arrest, we completely denounce this measure. And this is the last card used by the Revolutionary Council, because they fear for our freedom. And this arrest will never break us as a resistance committee. They will arrest us, but we will not leave until we achieve civility we want for this country. And the military will not rule us anymore.
Well, let's go live now to Khartoum for the very latest on this story. And for that, we're joined by Musab Mohsin Ibrahim. Musab, tell us more about these protests and just how Sudan's leadership is responding to calls for even more demonstrations.
Yes, welcome. As we know, there's the protest today from the mid-evening. There's the protest today, and all the people, they went out on the streets asking for the rights and democracy, and they're calling for the civil government. As we know, the people are rejecting what's happening on the 25th of October, and they're refusing the dealing between the Prime Minister and the General Commander in the 21st of November. So all people, they was rejecting it. Every 2 or 3 days, they went out in the streets asking for the rights and democracy and refusing. They don't want any negotiation or any partnership or any dialogue with the military. And they believe they want really a civil government full of civilians. So the protest today was very big, and they was cut the internet connection and the cell phone connection, and they cut the international connection. We cannot receive any connections. And there was a violation against the protester in many four directions from all Khartoum, and there's the protest from many different states in Sudan. So all of them, they went out in the streets in the same time asking for the same question what people ask. So there was a violation against the protesters, and unfortunately there was being attacked to the journalists inside their studio and beat them, and this is something was unacceptable at all, and all people were refusing, and people are not allowed them to be outside in the streets and filming and doing reports. You can just do it inside the studio, and they were keeping eye on the journalists and waiting them in the studio, and that was something which could be unacceptable at all. And unfortunately, they attacked the people with the tear gas and the sound bomb, and they closed all the bridge with the chips container. That means it's very difficult for them to cross and go anywhere. They just can't protest inside their neighborhoods.